June 18, 1995. A small British manufacturer arrived at Le Mans with something to prove. By sunrise the next day, they had achieved something nobody expected. Some victories end with a trophy. This one ended with a road car. When McLaren arrived at Le Mans at 1995, nobody expected a newly developed GT car to challenge manufacturers that spent decades mastering endurance racing. It was the company's first appearance in 24 hours Le Mans racing, and simply reaching the finish was considered an ambitious goal. Instead, the impossible happened. The number 59 McLaren F1 GTR crossed the line first, while 4 other F1 GTRs crossed the line third, fourth, fifth, and 13th. It cannot be considered only a victory. It was one of the most remarkable debuts in racing history. For most manufacturers, that would have been the perfect ending. For McLaren, it became the beginning of another story. After celebrations faded, Gordon Murray found himself thinking about the road car that had started all. His idea was surprisingly straightforward. If the McLaren F1 had gone to Le Mans and won, why not build a road version inspired by everything team had learned over there? That single question became the McLaren F1 LM. Production was never meant to satisfy demand. It was meant to commemorate a racing history. Only 5 customer cars have been built, and each of them were representing one of the 5 McLaren GTRs that completed the race. McLaren kept the prototype, making the LM one of the rarest production cars the company has ever created. Even its color carried a deeper meaning. Papaya Orange wasn't chosen because it looks dramatic under sunlight. It honored Bruce McLaren, whose racing cars introduced that color to the race circuits years before F1 LM was introduced. The philosophy behind LM was refreshingly simple. Don't make the car softer. Don't make it easier. Make it feel even closer to the race car. The suspension became stiffer. The ride height dropped. Around 60 kilograms removed. The purpose for every revision is bringing the car one step nearer to the machine that conquered Le Mans. McLaren itself described the result in a couple words. An untamed Le Mans car with license plates. Few descriptions have captured a car's personality so accurately. At the heart of F1 LM sits one of the most celebrated, naturally aspirated engines ever installed in a road car. A 6.1-liter BMW Motorsport V12. Interestingly, there is a myth that still appears in conversations today. Some people believe that this engine was created by combining 2 V6 engines from BMW. It wasn't. The S70/2 was developed specially for McLaren F1. Gordon Murray had an unusually demanding list of requirements. It had to be compact, lightweight, naturally aspirated, and capable of delivering immediate throttle response without sacrificing reliability. BMW Motorsport responded with an engine that produced 627 horsepower in the standard McLaren F1. For the LM, revised engine mapping and freely flowing exhaust system increased the output to 680 horsepower. No turbochargers, no hybrid assistance, just 12 cylinders responding instantly to every single movement to the throttle. Open the rear bodywork and you will realize something that almost seems out of the place. Gold. Not for prestige, not for appearance. Real gold foil lines the engine bay because it reflects radiant heat exceptionally well and protecting the carbon fiber surrounding from the temperatures generated by the V12. It's one of these details that tells you how this car was engineered. Nothing was really included because it looked impressive. The philosophy extended far beyond the engine. It shaped the way you sit inside the car. Unlike every other passenger car, the driver's seat was not positioned in the left or the right side. It sat exactly in the center. For Gordon Murray, this wasn't about being unconventional. It was the position that made the most sense. From the middle, visibility becomes perfectly balanced. The car feels symmetric beneath you, and there was no need to engineer a left or right hand drive versions. Every owner experienced the car exactly as Murray intended. Two passenger seats were placed behind either side, creating one of the most distinctive interiors fitted to a production car. Its layout that still feels modern after decades of production. Capturing a machine like that at 1/18 scale demands more than patience. It demands access. Rather than relying on photographs or measurements, Amalgam digitally scanned the original XP-LM prototype at the McLaren Technology Center before starting the development. That decision explains why this model feels so convincing. The proportions look natural. The stance is exactly right. The bodywork transitions flow smoothly from one surface to another, just as it does in the real car. The shot lines are crisp. The wheel design has the correct depth and profile. Inside the cabin, the unique three-seat layout immediately pulls your attention. Even the subtle shapes around the air intakes and the rear bodywork have been reproduced with impressive precision. It doesn't really feel exaggerated. Nothing has been sharpened or softened to make the model appear more dramatic. Instead, it stays faithful to the original. That's what separates a replica from a scaled reproduction. More than 30 years passed since the introduction of McLaren F1 LM, yet its philosophy hasn't aged. It reminds us that the performance does not come from complexity. Sometimes it comes from removing things which are not essential. Perhaps that's why F1 LM continues to earn such enormous respect among drivers, engineers, and collectors alike. Not that it chased the trends, but because it never intended to. And thanks to Amalgam, that philosophy could be appreciated on a shelf. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more stories behind some of the world's most fascinating collectibles. And before you go, I'd love to hear an answer to one question. If you had the chance to own one analog supercar from any era, would the McLaren F1 LM be your choice? This is Vaulted Figures.